Welcome to It's Kelsey, where we talk about rediscovering your inner roar.
I'm so excited to have you back to It's Kelsey. So today I wanted to talk about being in your 30s, specifically being single in your 30s and also being childless in your 30s. Because I feel like not a lot of people are talking about this. So here I am. I'm going to talk about it. Bear with me if I get super emotional because it's been something that's been weighing on my mind a lot. Loneliness of your 30s sounds like a very sad topic, but someone's got to talk about it, and that's me.
Get into this, like and subscribe.
So in this video, we are going to delve into a topic that is not spoken about barely ever. Many of us find ourselves yearning for a family, for children, and feeling out of sync with your friends who are now married or just getting married or have been married and now have kids. And there's a lot of complex emotions and societal expectations around this topic. But it's also a profound journey of self-growth and self-discovery. I'm going to share some of my own experiences and reflections about going through a journey like this and navigating the mountains that we go through. So from the ache of longing to the empowerment, and how there's always highs and lows, and we embrace our unique paths. I think I say that weird, paths. Through vulnerability and connection, we encounter the truths and wisdom emerge from this often misunderstood journey. Some of the things that I found myself doing in these moments were seeking out the self-compassion. And while it's not always easy to throw yourself into those moments where you're giving yourself compassion on the moments that are really hard and where you're longing for something deep within your soul. But I think that self-compassion is the key to really finding your inner strength throughout this journey. By self-compassion, I really mean taking a little step back and realizing that this is your moment in your life to really embrace that it's just you on this journey, using it in a sense of embracing that. For a while, I used to just really long for that and would actively search and try and grab out onto things and be like, I need to have a family. I want this. I want that. Instead of like letting it naturally flow into that. And I think that just comes from always wanting that family, really. But taking the step back and realizing that this may be the time in your journey that you were meant to take that time for you. Taking that time for you is a very precious moment. Right now, all that you have is yourself. That is the most empowering moment, really, is that you're able to take yourself on a journey at any moment in time without having to ask your spouse or make sure someone's able to look after your child. There is so much freedom to this moment in your life that I feel like sometimes getting lost in that loneliness or longing can kind of misguide you to realizing that that's not the case. I feel that there's also that sense of being able to kind of do whatever you feel at the moment And that can kind of go into making whatever food you want for dinner in a little sense. Like, you could have a smoothie for dinner and ain't no one gonna care because it's just you. However, nourishing yourself is also a great thing. So taking that time to plan out and organize your life in however it flows best for you. So taking that time to write down a schedule that best suits your needs, that best suits your development. That is another thing that you definitely can do as you keep going on this journey, is instead of taking it as a disadvantage, take it as an advantage to do all the personal development that you want to do. You can read as many books as you want because you have the time. You have the time to do it. Take full advantage. You don't have a child screaming, needing your attention. You can take those moments and say, hey, I'm going to read a book right now. And no one knows. You can also take self-care baths and pretty much anything that you want to do. You could do any hobby. You can go do sports. There is so much freedom. So I guess that's the biggest thing, is giving yourself compassion. Also realizing how much freedom you're able to have at this moment in your life. I think another aspect is finding community. Now, this one isn't really that easy in 2024. I personally have found that hard to do. It's not that I haven't tried to do it. There was moments when I was avoiding it. I will be for sure honest on that. I think also moving between different cities can further your disengagement for community and really have to make you set out to find that community. I think about it this way. So sports has been a way for me to find other people that I can connect with. I think the best advice, though, for finding a community is either doing something that you love, like sports or some type of hobby, or to find a third space. And I don't know if you've heard about third spaces, but I can do a video on third spaces. But it is something that we're a little lacking in lately. A third space is not your working space and not your home space, but also another space that you frequent. This used to be like coffee shops or bars or another person's house, really. It has become farther and few between because we have the way to connect digitally, like the video you're watching. You can connect with someone else that doesn't even live remotely close to you. And I think that is a wonderful thing that we've developed. It does take away from that in-person, more impromptu connection. So that would be my other point, is to find a community, whether that be small or large scale. But having community will be able to connect with like-minded people, and I think that is one of the best things you can do. I know for myself, being connected to so many friends that are now moms and are now also wives, I feel like I don't have the same connection. Not that I don't have a connection with them at all. I just genuinely don't have as much to relate to them in their current moment in life. Don't get me wrong, I love all my friends that are moms and wives. I just find it rather hard to get into a deeper connection, either because they're so busy with what they're currently dealing with, or that is not the top of their priority lists to be doing. And that's totally okay, because you have a child you're raising and you have a family you're cultivating and creating. And that is a wonderful thing, and something that pretty sure most of us that are watching this really want and crave. And there's nothing wrong with that either. This is just the season for you to be alone, working on yourself, going to things and doing things that you love. And that season will come for you at any point. For all I know, the person that I very well soon be dating could be watching this video, but who knows? As far as right now, we are nowhere near that. Another thing I realized in this journey is embracing the authentic desires. And while that may be hard and it may be difficult to deal with, I think it is necessary. By doing those things, I'm meaning introspection, so asking yourself questions or just letting yourself sit in those feelings. Another one can be journaling. For those of you that love to write, that's probably best. I think that another thing could be meditation, because the meditation could be a way for you to quiet your mind into that moment to reflect. Another way could be to seek guidance from coaches or their mentors, because you want to solidify your goals and your desires and your values. Values are a good one to reflect on in this moment, because that's going to help you ensure that you go and you find that person that also holds those same values that you do. Some people may say that you have a lot of values or you have a long list of things. I believe that it's great to have a long list of things that you want. That shows how much of a standard and how much you know your worth. Knowing your worth is definitely going to get you the most high value partner, whether that be man, woman, whatever partner you are looking for. It is wonderful to have values, very, very big values, because that is going to become part of the foundation in your relationship. Society has some big pictures around what we should do in our lives. I don't think that you always have to be in a relationship to have a fulfilling life. Take your passions and take your desires and create something that you absolutely love. You have as much time to do that and to create something you are the most passionate about. Doesn't mean you have to do it forever, but it is something that will give you the most fulfillment. So go and make that clothing line. Go and be very in-depth in whatever hobby that makes you happy, because societal norms want you to think that you have to be with someone. Well, I don't think that we are encouraging that all the time. I think that you can have a season of it. I think that having a season of it is actually quite healthy, because it shows you who you really are deep down inside. And that is a very wonderful thing to know before you're with anyone, because knowing who you are deep down is going to be the best way that you can form a partnership. Because in a partnership, you don't want to be completely codependent on one another. You want to have your individuality. And by having your singleness or your loneliness of your 30s, that is going to only propel you into knowing exactly who you are and having the best partner that really lights you up and really is your cheerleader and really just is one of the most valuable people in your life, because you took that time to know who you are as an individual, and so did they. And then you can come together as a partnership in a very amazing way, because you still know who you both each are individually, which will allow you to also play on each other's strengths, help each other and each other's weaknesses. So I do believe that having this time of singleness is going to only propel you into finding that partner that you are craving and loving and wanting. So some of the few things that I have found really helpful during these times is mindfulness and gratitude practices. So engaging and fulfilling activities. So for those mindfulness practices and for the gratitude practices, I actually have created a couple free sheets that you can download that is going to be linked below. So if you're interested in doing your own self-care and don't know where to start, that would be a great place to start. I think another thing that I should talk about is activities that bring you fulfillment. So one of those things that brings me fulfillment activity-wise is biking, my Peloton bike, and also rock climbing. Both of these are exercises that I find I cannot bring only my mind or only my body. I have to bring both to be able to achieve what I'm wanting to achieve. So especially for rock climbing, if you come in there knowing that your body is there and your mind is not, that rock wall is going to be the most challenging thing ever. And I mean that not lightly, because there has been so many days when I have gone there and I have had not the greatest day. So I'm there physically, but mentally I am checked out. Those problems to solve on the wall are gonna feel like the hardest thing you've ever looked at, because your brain is not wanting to piece that together. So those two exercises are my favorite for fulfilling activities, is because I know I have to bring my best self. And if I don't bring my best self, that's okay. But I do know that my performance is going to be on me being able to let go of that bad day that I had. I think another thing fulfilling activities-wise is actually dodgeball for me. And I started that on a whim. I'm not very frequent on it. Anyone who knows me, I'll jump in for a season, I'll kind of leave for a season, come back for a season. But I do love it, and I find that it is fulfilling because I love the community that I've gained from being involved with such an amazing group of people. Dodgeball is something that I just never thought I would play. I was not an athletic person in school. I still kind of think of myself as not an athletic person, yet I am doing a lot of things athletically now. But I was definitely like that art music girl in school. I might have to pull out my guitar sometimes on these YouTubes. But for right now, we're going to keep it at docs, okay? Yeah. That's what we're keeping. Unless I get 1,000 comments below saying they want to hear me play guitar, then we'll make a YouTube video about that, okay? So just one of the biggest things I want to remind you is to remember that you're not alone on this journey. If you're ever feeling lost or feeling very left out, please comment or send a message. Your experiences are very valid. They are. And your path is uniquely yours to navigate. Uniquely yours. By shedding a light on this topic, I hope that we can foster more empathy, a greater understanding, and support more women who are single and childless in their 30s. Because I think that it is a very important topic. You're not alone. Please remember that. And if anyone has the same experience, I invite you to comment below and like and subscribe, because I'm about creating a community of like-minded people. And whether we can do that in person or online, at least we can start online. And I can't wait to see you next week. I hope you have a great day. I love you.